So last time we were working on the face, and I decided to do some more shaping out of the videos. So if you notice, mine looks slightly different. I did some more shaping, so I do recommend that you go and take your time. Make sure that you do some more shaping there. Let's go ahead and we're going to work on the gloves here. So let's go to Edit Mesh. I'm going to insert an edge loop. So drag it all the way down, not completely down, just so that you don't have any overlapping. And now one here. Just press Q and exit. So I'll go to 1, I'll press 1 to go to my normal view here. I'm going to double click on that edge loop. I'm going to drag it down a bit. I'll go ahead to Edit Mesh, Detach Component, Detach Component. That's our new tool here. So now our geometry is no longer connected to that area. As you can see, we can move those edges. So our geometry is not connected anymore on that particular spot. So that's going to help us out for something that we're going to do right now. Let me go to Insert Edge Loop. I'm going to insert one here. Going to Face Mode. And I'm going to delete these two faces. So delete those two. I'll delete this edge loop for now. So let's go ahead and select these two faces. And I'll go and Edit Mesh, Extrude. I'll use the blue handle and move that down. Scale that a bit. I'll select that face and I'll delete it. So now I'll go ahead and connect our vertex here. So I'm going to use Edit Mesh, Merge Vertex tool. I'm going to click and hold down one vertex and drag to my other vertex so that I can connect those two. And I'll do the same with all the other ones. Click and hold down one vertex and drag so that it connects to the other one. And if it doesn't work, I recommend that you exit the tool and try it one more time. Sometimes there's some problem that with Maya that it doesn't let you connect connect the vertex. In this case, it's working fine for me. So now we have that geometry connected back. We just disconnected that just so that we could have that extrusion. And so that I could get this area for the gloves. And now let's go ahead and do some shaping. So please take your time and go ahead and shape the glove so it looks like the concept. I'll just show that real quickly here. I might skip to that. Let's go to Edit Mesh, Insert Edge Loop tool, insert one here. And as I said, just continue to shape. I'll just do that real quick. Again, I don't want to hold. I want to make sure that the tutorial is not too long, so I'll make sure that I show you when I do topology changes. But as far as the actual shaping, I'll keep it short and I'll do it real quick. So let's go ahead and work for the boots, and we'll do the exact same thing. First, I'm going to insert one edge loop here. I'll press 1, and I'll double click on the bottom edge loop. Then I'm going to edit mesh, detach component. So now this area is not connected to the legs, as we can see here. I'm just moving those down just so I can have some space for when I start to connect the vertices. So I'm going to edit mesh, and now insert an edge loop. I'll insert one here. So I'll select these two faces, and I'm going to delete those two. I'm going to select these two, and I'm going to edit mesh, and I'm going to use extrude. I'll use the scale, so I can scale those two down, but just pressing R to scale. I'm going to select these two faces, and I'm going to delete. And I'll just move this back. So now I can go ahead and use my merge vertex tool and start to connect these points here. And I'll do the same with all around, so that I have my whole boot connected back to my leg. I'll press 3 so I can go to my subdivision mode. And I can go ahead and start to shape. I'll more likely need another edge loop here at some point, so I'll do that in a minute. Let's go ahead to edit mesh, and I'm going to insert that edge loop right here. I'll scale that so that it's more flat. And I'll use those new edges so I can start to shape. Maybe go to edit mesh, insert edge loop, and I'll insert one out here. And now we just continue to shape so that we get our boots looking the way we want them, or at least closer to the actual concept. So I'll let you make sure that you get the shape exactly close to the concept, and I'll just do that real quick, and I'll probably do some slight shaping off camera. So I'm going to select the object, and I'm going to edit, delete by type, history. I just want to make sure that my object doesn't have too much history to it. Going to go to face mode, and we're going to select some faces just so that we can start to extrude the ears. I'll probably select those 6 faces there. Probably these as well. I think those should be enough for our ear area. So I'm going to edit mesh, extrude. I'm going to press W and just move that out. And I'm going to also rotate it. And I'll just start for some quick shaping here for the ear. I do recommend that you make sure you look at some references for ears. Right now I'm just trying to do this by my head, since the concept is not very useful for the ears, since you can't really see them up close. I do recommend that go ahead and look at images of ears, just so that you make sure you have something that makes sense. So I'll just do it in a way that I'm actually not looking at a picture, so it may not be as accurate. I'm going to select the whole area. I'm going to scale the ear down a bit. I think it was a bit too big, so I'll just make it slightly smaller. So I'm going to edit mesh, extrude, and I'll scale those down. So we can start to continue to shape our ear, making sure that it looks like an ear. So please make sure that you look at references, making sure that the ear looks like one. So it is taking some time to actually get the ear to look like an ear, so it takes time to make sure that it looks like an ear. So let's go ahead and go into edge mode. Let's select this edge. Go to edit mesh, spin edge forward, and I'll leave it this way. And you'll see in a moment why we just did that. Just so that we can start to create the flow for the ear. Let's go to face mode. I'm going to select the faces right here. Make sure you have those faces selected. And I'll go to edit mesh and I'm going to extrude. Use the blue handle to get those out a bit. And now we have to start to shape again, making sure that it looks like the ear. So we'll do some more shaping and then we'll continue. So I'll rotate the ear a bit, and I'm also going to scale it a bit more. I'm feeling that it looks a little too big, so I'm just going to scale that down. And I'll probably work a bit more on the ear. So I moved some of the area here a bit more, just to make it a bit more accurate. I'm going to select this face. I'm going to edit mesh, extrude. I'm going to extrude that in. And I'm going to move that face to the side and start to shape that area just so that it looks more accurate. This looks a bit more closer to the ear. And of course, as I said, if you make sure that you're looking at pictures, you'll end up with a more accurate representation of the ear. Let me go to edit mesh, and I'm going to insert an edge loop right here. Press Q. I have that edge loop right there, just so I can do some more shaping in the area. Especially, let's go ahead and clean up some of the edges here. And I can start to work with this area right here, which I wanted to get. That's why I inserted that edge loop, just so I can get that out. So the next time we're going to continue to develop the character. So for now, I'll just continue to shape the ear, and I do recommend that you will go ahead and continue to shape the character overall so that it looks like the concept. So stay tuned for the next video, okay?